What is up, guys? Everyone here, bringing you guys an update to my Lord of the Red deck profile. Now, something to let you guys know. There's a thing that I actually kind of want to do, and because I kind of appreciate you guys and you actually start supporting me, even though it's a little channel, I actually started to see a little bit more support. So I am considering opening up a Facebook page and a Twitter page and maybe even a Patreon, but we'll see how that goes. As well as I'm actually going to open up probably a new kind of a series of deck profiles if it will work, and that called deck profiles with friends. We'll see how that goes. Probably it'll be one major person and maybe two other like side people. We'll see how that goes, but I'll have to still ask them. So this is not confirmed yet what's going to happen, but I will try to make this real if you guys enjoy that. Now, another thing with Lord of the Red before we get started is that I took the idea of the deck quite completely different, just because it felt to me it clogs in a way of like don't have a lot of special summoning and just having way too much high attack high level monsters in my hand. So I kind of like go in a different aspect, as well as this deck is really good during Link format in my opinion, if you want something fun and not the most high competitive, because it's a ritual deck. The ritual decks do not get hurt by the new rules of the Link format mechanic. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is a deck profile without a side, unfortunately, just because it's one of those decks that I have a little bit of a hard time to pick up subsides. But let's get started. So starting off, you want to run triple of the boss monster of the deck, you could say. I mean, it's not the boss monster, but it's the ritual monster, Lord of the Red. This card is really nice, but it has two annoying flaws in my opinion. First off, his stats are very low for a level 8 ritual monster in my opinion. Just 2400 attack in my opinion is very low, so yeah, that's a problem. The second thing is a problem with him is that he cannot stack his effects in a chain. So any Lord of the Red, even if you have 3 of them, when a card effect is activated, you can activate one of their 2 effects, but he cannot stack them in a chain. So if the effect that activates the Lord of the Red effect, he cannot activate it. So let's just say your opponent activates an effect to search. He can activate its effect to pop a monster. But this guy, if he's going on the field, he cannot activate its effect to pop a spell and trap, which is really annoying. But regardless, most of the time I don't have more than one, so I kind of can live with this, even though it's a little bit of annoying. Next up, for your big dragons, you want to run triple copies of the supporting dragon engine, which is Dragon Lord Felgrand. Dragon Lord Felgrand is an amazing dragon type monster, very underrated. And its effect is this card has the ability to, when it's revived from the graveyard, to banish any monster from the field or graveyard if it's special summon from the graveyard, and get attack attack equal to its level or rank double 100. Keep in mind he doesn't get attack for links, so if you're banishing a link monster, he's not going to get an attack boost because it came up in the Pendulum era. His other effect is really awesome. When he destroys a monster by battle, he can revive any level 7 or 8 dragon from the graveyard except himself. What's really awesome is that actually, I'm not 100% sure if it's not illegal or a problem in YG or Pro, I still need to double check that, is that I could revive in the place there a dragon in my opponent graveyard. I'm not 100% sure about that, but this is a thing that is good to note if you want to check that, and if you think it's true and you know that's true, tell me down in the comment down below. I'm not 100% sure about that. I haven't had the time to check that out 100%, but for what I've seen in the replays, at least in my plays there, is that when I destroyed a monster, I could revive their dragon, which was really awesome. Next up, for our last big dragon, is triple of the Archbrave. Archbrave is your second and last dragon from the structure deck of Felgrand. This guy, what he does, he's really awesome. When it's special summon, he get the ability to basically banish all face-up spell and traps your opponent control and get 200 attack each, which not happened a whole lot in this era, but it could happen still. His other effect is when it's sent to the graveyard during the next main phase, I think, or standby phase, I don't remember 100%, but he gets the ability to revive a level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard. So the monster you mostly want to go to revive is your Dragon Lord Felgrand, or your Lord of the Red, who got destroyed by any other matters and got summoned properly first. So those are your big dragons pretty much. 9 big dragons. I don't believe I need any more of these in my opinion. So that's pretty much it. Then for our little guys, we also run little guys in order to support the engine. We need some level 4s. So starting off, we run double copies of Paladin of Felgrand. This guy is really awesome. He has the ability to tune out a level 7 or 8 dragon from your deck, which essentially, or your Felgrand or your Archbrave, depending on the situation. And it's unaffected from your hand or deck, and it's unaffected by any monster effects while it's equipped. So let's just say use him for an Exceed later, that dragon is sent to the graveyard, so you can set your place. And it's also the effect to send another monster and himself to the graveyard to revive a level 7 or 8 dragon. So let's just say you have an Exceed monster with no material, you can send it to the graveyard with this and revive, for example, your Dragon Lord Felgrand or your Archbrave, depending on the situation. Next up, for special summoning effects, I run double copies of Photon Thrasher, because I got this one now, and it's actually really good. It's opened up a lot of rank 4 plays, and I think 2 is mostly enough. So we don't need more than 2 Photon Thrashers. You can run the 3rd, but I don't like it. Next up, for the engines that actually make a difference for the deck, in my opinion, is the Lightsworn engine, which I'm starting off with 2 Raidens. I don't like the 3rd one, even though Lightsworns are really good. I like 3 of them, but you know what Raiden does? It's a tuner level 4, it can mill during your turn, 2 cards, and then during the end phase 2 more cards. It's a really awesome card. Then, double copies of Lumina, just because sometimes I want to revive my Lightsworn monsters, and I want to actually have a consistent engine, even though it's not like, you know, the main focus of the deck. That could help a little bit, and the Lightsworn engine actually did the best for this deck. So Lumina, you know what she does: discard a card, revive a Lightsworn with a level 4 lower from your what is it called, graveyard, sorry. And then up, we also run 2 copies of Wolf, because Wolf is a card that you can mill and you get its special summoning. Unfortunately, I don't have a 3rd Wolf, so that's why I'm also running 2 Felice. But I would recommend to run 1 Felice and 3 Wolves, or something like that, or even just 2 Wolf and 1 Felice, depending on what you want. But those 2 guys are basically milled by any card, and sent from the deck to the graveyard by any card. This is by card effects, keep that in mind. But she has also the ability to pop, and she's also another tuner, so I still like her, at least at 1. Then 1 Lila, the Lightsworn Sorceress, because she's my MST. And 1 Garroth, which can be any Lightsworn monster you want. I might actually switch it to the Baby Minerva, but we'll see about that. I just like him at 1 just because it's a level 4 1850 100 beat stick. So I like this card very much as well. And that's it for my Lightsworn monsters, and also done it everything for the monsters. Now we'll move on to the spell. Spells. So starting off with the spells, you want to run triple copies of your Ritual spell, which is Red Eyes Transmigration. This card is really good for the sole purpose that it doesn't limit you for level 8 exactly. So that's why I like this card. The only problem with him is that he's have a nice banishment effect, but only with Red Eyes monsters. If it was just Dragon monsters, I will be very happy, but it's just Red Eyes monsters to do the Ritual. Another thing that is really annoying is that why they think we're going to run it in Red Eyes. Red Eyes don't have any use for Lord of the Red, in my opinion. So that's why, in my opinion, it's kind of infuriating, but regardless, it is what it is. Next up, to Search It and our Dragon Lord, we run triple copies of Pre-Preparation of Right, because, you know, it's a +1. For Search Powers as well, we run 1 copy as Reinforcement of the Army, because we have tons of warriors, 6 targets in fact, so it's come live really much. 2 Charge of the Light Brigade, because Lightsworns, we have 10 targets in the deck and we get milled free cards. 2 Solar Recharge, again we got 10 targets in the deck and it's actually giving me additional draws, and 2 mills as well. Now the reason why I run 2 and not 3, because at 3 in my playstyle it's getting cloggy, so you do need forms of draw power, but I don't believe in 3 solar recharge. You can do whatever you want. And then lastly, I run 1 trade-in and 1 upstart goblin. The 1 trade-in might seem awkward, but again, I have just 6 dragons in the deck, and I feel like, you know, it's way too much, and sometimes I rather have them in my hand. So I decided 1 trade-in, 1 upstart goblin. So, you know, you could run 2 trade-in, you can run 2 solar recharges and 2 trade-ins, 3 solar recharges and 1 upstart goblin. It's totally up to you. And then to round up the spells, I run 1 copy of Ruin of the Dragon Lords, just because it's a Night Floodgate trap spell. It's a nice floodgate, yeah. And that's that, and that's it for spells. Now we'll move on to traps. We just run 3 traps, which can be any form of revival, but I just gone with these. It could be Return to the Front Lines, or you can even run 3 Return to Dragon Lords. I just have this in the deck because Return of the Dragon Lords in my Blue Eyes deck. So I kind of been lazy and didn't take that out, because every single time I take it out from the sleeves it could hurt them, so I decided not to do that. But yeah, 3 Always of Dragon Souls or any other revival spell you like. And that's it for main deck, 40 cards main deck. It's actually working really nice for me. You could run whatever you want, but I just like this. So that's it for main. Now we'll move on to extra deck. Extra deck is just basically a mishmash of cards. It can be like those rank 8, which are 62, 107, Heliopolis, and Galaxy Cipher. It can be whatever rank 8 you want. It just the rank 8 spares I need, that I have, so I kind of put them in. You can also run like rank 7, which I run 2 of, which are Big Eye and Gaia Charger. You can even just run the 1 and just run, like, for example, a Dracostack, and yeah, instead of one of them a Link Monster. It can be whatever you need, again. Then for rank 4s, you run 1 Silent Honor Arc, 1 Castell, and then for rank 3s that can be anything you want is 1 Breaksword and 1 Lavier. Now for cards that I actually suggest to you just to run in general is the 1 Minerva, the 1 Bujinsu Kiyomi. These cards in my opinion are a must-off. The 1 Omega also a must-off because you can do level 8 synchros. The 1 Michael is a must-off, and again another level 8 or 7 synchro monster, so I run 1 Stardust, essentially a level 8 because you have more level 4s. So 1 Stardust is my pick, but it can be whatever you want. So I do recommend to run, like, those 4 cards in my opinion are a must-off in your extra deck. The other in your extra deck can be whatever you wish, and that's it for my extra deck. Nothing need to be explained way too much. So yeah, that's it for my Lord of the Red deck profile. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It's really help the channel, and you helping me growing into a little bit more of a better channel. Hopefully we will be able to hit 100 subscribers at least soon-ish, and then I will do something nice. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, keep yourself safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.